Welcome to the Urban Herald. Today, our team is bringing you a comprehensive analysis of one of the most, influential and unforgettable figures in contemporary music, Amy Winehouse. More than a decade after her tragic death, her legacy, it just continues to resonate. I mean, over 19 million monthly Spotify listeners. That's huge. And there's renewed interest, too, sparked by the 2024 biopic, Back to Black. Our mission for this deep dive, from all of us here at the Urban Herald, is to explore the tragic yet also triumphant story of Amy Winehouse. We'll uncover how a young woman from North London became, a global icon, how she revolutionized British soul music and left this indelible mark on fashion, on popular culture, before her untimely death at 27. It's a journey filled with incredible highs and profound lows. We're ready to unpack all of it for you.
Indeed, her journey encompasses this remarkable blend, doesn't it? Artistic brilliance, profound personal turmoil, and significant cultural transformation. If you look at the broader landscape of modern British music history, her story really stands out. It's one of its most compelling narratives. It's a tale of an extraordinary voice, one that not only channeled the spirits of jazz legends, but also, fearlessly addressed contemporary themes with this unflinching honesty that just resonated so deeply. Her influence profoundly shaped the current UK soul revival, truly defining the music landscape for years to come. It's hard to overstate that.
Absolutely. Before we delve into the intricate details of her life and artistry, let's quickly revisit some key facts about this incredible artist, just to frame our discussion. Her full name was Amy Jade Winehouse. She was born on September 14th, 1983 in Enfield, London, and tragically left us on July 23, 2011, aged just 27 in Camden, London, a detail that, as we'll explore, placed her in that infamous group of musicians. Her musical genres spanned this rich tapestry of soul, jazz, R&B, and even reggae. Her major albums were Frank in 2003, which really hinted at her genius, and then the truly iconic Back to Black in 2006. And she famously achieved that unprecedented sweep of 5 Grammy Awards in a single night in 2008. Just a stunning achievement.
Right, and to give that Grammy triumph a bit more context, that particular night tied her with 5 other artists as the second most awarded female performer in Grammy history in a single evening. It wasn't just a win for her, it was a monumental moment for British music on a global stage. Really showed its burgeoning influence.
Totally. Some of her notable songs, tracks that have embedded themselves deeply into our collective consciousness, Rehab, Back to Black, You Know I'm No Good, instantly recognizable. Beyond the music, her cultural impact was just immense. She ignited the British soul revival, influenced fashion trends worldwide. You couldn't escape that Beehive for a while. Her powerful, enduring legacy also lives on through the Amy Winehouse Foundation, which continues her mission to help young people struggling with addiction. It's about transforming personal tragedy into a force for good. Okay, let's begin our deep dive right at the start of Amy's journey. Let's explore her early life and the rich musical foundations that profoundly shaped her. What's immediately striking is how deeply ingrained music was in her family background. It was far more than just a hobby, wasn't it? Amy Jade Winehouse was born September 14, 1983, at Chase Farm Hospital in Enfield, London, into a Jewish family. Her father, Mitch Winehouse, a taxi driver, actually harbored his own significant musical aspirations. And her mother, Janice Winehouse, née Seton, was a pharmacist with roots in Brooklyn, New York, which added this distinct American cultural thread to Amy's upbringing.
And that blend, that mix of British working-class ambition and American cultural influences, that was crucial. It wasn't merely a family that appreciated music. It was, like you said, a bona fide musical household. Her maternal uncles were professional jazz musicians, and her paternal grandmother, Cynthia, she was a singer herself who famously dated the legendary English jazz saxophonist Ronnie Scott. I mean, that's some pedigree.
Wow, yeah. So this rich heritage meant Amy was just constantly exposed to the titans of jazz: Frank Sinatra, Sarah Vaughan, Dinah Washington, Ella Fitzgerald from her earliest years. These weren't just background sounds. They were the very air she breathed. They permeated family gatherings that apparently often turned into impromptu musical sessions. Relatives sharing stories of professional jazz careers, performing together. Imagine growing up with that.
Exactly. This early immersive education fostered this authentic understanding of jazz's emotional depth and technical complexity. It's what would later distinguish her work from so many of her contemporaries. This deep familial immersion in such rich musical traditions provided her with a foundation that's just incredibly rare for contemporary artists. It granted her this artistic gravitas right from the outset.
Yeah, you can almost taste that authentic understanding in every nuanced note she's saying, can't you?
Indeed, that early musical immersion provided her with an unparalleled, almost innate understanding of jazz's core essence. Yet, as you rightly highlight, her personal challenges during childhood were equally formative. So this leads us to consider, how did those early family dynamics impact her distinctive artistic voice? And what other factors helped forge that famously rebellious spirit?
Right, because the music was there, but so was the turbulence.
Precisely. Her parents' separation during her ninth year was a significant turning point. She lived primarily with her mother in Whetstone, spending weekends with her father and his girlfriend in Essex. And this early experience of family fracture, well, it directly influenced songs like What Is It About Men from her debut album, Frank.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in that powerful track, she explored themes of paternal relationships and abandonment with the raw honesty that became her enduring trademark. It unequivocally shows that her confessional style was rooted in very real, very early experiences, not just, fabricated artistry or commercial calculation.
It came from somewhere real.
Totally. Her formal musical education began at 12 at the prestigious Sylvia Young Theatre School in Marylebone. However, her rebellious spirit quickly clashed with institutional expectations. Big surprise there, maybe.
Yeah, it seems fitting.
She was allegedly expelled at 14 for not applying herself and piercing her nose, though Sylvia Young herself consistently denied this, stating Amy simply changed schools at 15. Bit of conflicting info there.
Yeah.
An English teacher at the school, however, remembered her as a profoundly gifted writer, predicting she'd become a novelist or journalist. Which is interesting because it was a prophecy partially correct, as she later worked as an entertainment journalist for the World Entertainment News Network for a bit.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. This rebellious streak, this sheer unwillingness to conform, it was evident so early on. And it became a consistent characteristic throughout her life and career, both personally and artistically. It marked her as someone who would always carve her own fiercely independent path.
So even with the family changes and school drama, the music wasn't just in her blood, it became her destiny. Let's look at those crucial first steps toward stardom, because they really reveal a natural progression of her talent, despite everything else going on.
Okay.
Her musical journey took a decisive turn when she received her first guitar at 13. A truly pivotal moment, it seems, that unlocked her songwriting potential. By 16, she was already performing with jazz groups, gaining invaluable experience and honing her unique craft in London's vibrant music scene.
Getting her feet wet early.
Exactly. Her first major break arrived when her school friend, Tyler James, himself a soul singer, passed her demo tape to manager Nick Szymanski. This kind of organic grassroots discovery. It almost feels like something out of a classic music movie, but for Amy, it was very real and very much the beginning.
A lucky break, but based on real talent.
Absolutely. Then, in July 2000, she became the featured female vocalist with the National Youth Jazz Orchestra. Now, this was far from just a casual gig. It marked her first significant professional recognition and firmly established her credentials within London's competitive jazz scene.
That's a big deal, the NYJO.
Huge. This period was absolutely crucial for developing her stage presence and professional confidence. Performing with established jazz musicians wasn't merely a job. It further instilled in her the importance of musical integrity and authentic expression values that would steadfastly guide her throughout her entire career.
Right. Learning from the pros.
And it also connected her with influential industry professionals who quickly recognized her exceptional talent and undeniable mainstream potential. What this ultimately shows us is how these foundational experiences meticulously laid the groundwork for the global phenomenon she would become. It demonstrates a clear, almost destined progression from raw, prodigious talent to professional readiness, all while staying profoundly true to her authentic self.
What's truly fascinating is how Amy meticulously synthesized these early experiences into a truly distinctive and, frankly, utterly compelling sound. Her deep appreciation for jazz legends wasn't just casual admiration. It was a deeply studied, almost academic foundation that profoundly informed her entire artistic identity. She didn't just listen to the nuances, she truly absorbed them into her very being.
You really internalized it.
Exactly. Dinah Washington, revered as the Queen of the Blues, served as perhaps her most significant and foundational inspiration. Washington's powerful yet heartbreakingly beautiful voice provided a definity template that Amy would skillfully adapt and re-envision for contemporary audiences.
So not copying, but adapting.
Precisely. This was not mere mimicry. It was a sophisticated and respectful reinterpretation. The influence of Sarah Vaughan proved equally profound, teaching Amy that true artistry emanated from emotional authenticity and raw feeling, rather than just, mere technical dexterity. Showing off.
It's about the feeling.
It is.
Yeah.
And Ella Fitzgerald's legendary improvisational skills and scatting ability directly influenced tracks like Know You Now from Frank. You can hear it there, where Amy fearlessly displayed her own considerable improvisational talents. These deep jazz foundations were beautifully complemented by her admiration for 1960s girl groups, particularly the Supremes and the Ronettes. And their influence extended beyond music into her distinctive fashion sensibilities, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The whole look.
This eclectic and carefully curated mix created a truly unique artistic palette. Her remarkable ability to channel the profound pain and exultant joy of classic blues and jazz while simultaneously addressing contemporary themes. It created this enduring bridge between musical eras. And this resonated with both older jazz enthusiasts and younger pop audiences, powerfully proving her immense versatility and deep intellectual understanding of musical heritage.
That fusion, yeah, the way she effortlessly blended eras, that's where it gets truly captivating. Her understanding of jazz went far beyond the surface, wouldn't you agree?
Oh, completely.
She didn't just sing it, she lived it, breathed it, and then boldly infused it with modern elements.
Right. And contemporary artists were also instrumental in shaping her development. Lauryn Hill, for instance, represented a crucial bridge between classic soul and modern hip-hop that Amy would intuitively navigate.
Ah, interesting connection.
Yeah. And you might even find it surprising that she once formed a short-lived rap group called Sweet and Sour with her childhood friend Juliet Ashby.
No way.
Yes. It powerfully demonstrates her early and eclectic interest in diverse musical forms. She wasn't just one thing. This truly eclectic foundation allowed Amy to create music that was simultaneously nostalgic and utterly contemporary. She drew heavily from American musical traditions, whilst meticulously maintaining a distinctly British perspective, creating a sound that was both familiar and exhilaratingly fresh.
That's a great way to put it. Familiar and fresh.
Her broad musical palette also included influences from reggae, ska, and British indie music, which significantly contributed to her unique sonic signature that truly defied easy categorization. This musical diversity proved absolutely crucial in establishing her as an artist capable of appealing to multiple demographics whilst fiercely maintaining her artistic integrity. A challenging feat, as you know, that many artists struggle with, but one Amy managed with effortless grace and conviction.
Okay, so with all these rich influences simmering and coalescing, her highly anticipated debut album, Frank, finally dropped on October 20, 2003. Let's talk about how this record introduced the world to her extraordinary talent and that unwavering artistic vision we've been discussing.
All right, the big arrival.
The album's title. It referenced both her beloved dog and, maybe more importantly, the unapologetically frank nature of her lyrical content. It immediately set a clear precedent for the unflinching self-examination that would characterize her entire catalog.
So the title itself was a statement.
Exactly. This title wasn't just clever, it was a profound mission statement, signaling her unwavering commitment to raw, honest storytelling. Working primarily with producer Salam Remy, Amy meticulously crafted an album that boldly showcased her jazz influences while bravely exploring contemporary themes of love, sexuality, relationships, all with remarkable maturity for a 20-year-old artist.
20 years old. Incredible.
I know. The recording process was notably collaborative, but Amy fiercely insisted on maintaining creative control over her lyrics and vocal arrangements. That was a crucial decision, wasn't it? It ensured the album's authentic emotional impact and allowed her true, unvarnished voice to shine through every single track.
Absolutely. What's truly remarkable here is that even with her debut, Amy fiercely demanded creative control. That ensured the album's authentic emotional impact. This proactive approach immediately set her apart from many artists just starting out, and it very quickly earned her significant industry recognition. People noticed.
I did. The album's lead single, Stronger Than Me, earned her an Ivor Novello Award in 2004. That's a prestigious recognition of her exceptional songwriting abilities.
Huge honor, the Ivor Novello.
Definitely. This early success powerfully validated her artistic vision and firmly established her credibility within the music industry. The song's fearless exploration of complex relationship dynamics and gender roles demonstrated Amy's sheer willingness to address emotional territory that many artists of her generation either avoided or just skirted around. It solidified her reputation as a fearless and profoundly honest lyricist right from the outset.
Yeah, she wasn't afraid to go there.
But despite that critical acclaim, Here's where it gets really interesting. Amy herself wasn't entirely happy with Frank.
Right.
So what does this tell us? When an artist achieves such acclaim, but feels ambivalence towards their own creation, it's a fascinating paradox, isn't it? A real window into the artistic psyche.
Yeah, it is. Despite receiving critical acclaim, earning nominations for 2 Brit Awards, and being shortlisted for the prestigious Mercury Prize, Amy herself remains strikingly ambivalent about Frank. In a candid 2004 interview, she openly expressed dissatisfaction, stating she had never heard the album from start to finish, and famously didn't even keep a copy in her house. This perfectionist streak, this intense, almost insatiable desire for artistic growth, it's a key insight into her profound drive. It wasn't about ego or commercial dissatisfaction. It was about an uncompromising artistic vision.
Always pushing for more.
Always. This ambivalence powerfully foreshadowed her relentless pushing for even greater heights with her sophomore effort. The album's commercial performance, however, proved highly respectable. It eventually achieved double platinum status in the UK.
So people loved it, even if she didn't.
Exactly. Songs like Take the Box and In My Bed showcased her innate ability to transform deeply personal experiences into universally relatable musical narratives. It effectively established a potent template she would perfect on Back to Black. What this ultimately shows us, I think, is that even truly great art often feels incomplete or imperfect to its creator. It drives them to push boundaries and constantly evolve, always striving for something more profound.
A restless artistic spirit.
Precisely. And if Frank announced her arrival with a powerful declaration of talent, then the release of Back to Black on October 27, 2006, truly transformed Amy Winehouse from a promising British talent into an undeniable global phenomenon. This sophomore effort represented a quantum leap in artistic maturity, commercial appeal, and cultural impact. It not only defined Amy's career, but also profoundly shaped the broader landscape of British popular music for years to come. It was, without hyperbole, a pivotal moment that truly changed the game for an entire generation of artists.
A game changer, absolutely.
And the inspiration behind it, well, that's a story in itself. Deeply personal and profoundly influential, providing the raw emotional core that makes the album so timeless.
So let's talk about the creation. It was intrinsically linked to one single tumultuous relationship, wasn't it? The emotional core, the very heart of the album, is undeniably Blake Fielder's Civil.
It really is. The album's creation was intrinsically linked to Amy's intensely tumultuous relationship with Blake Fielder Civil, whom she had first met at the Good Mixer pub in Camden back in 2005. Their passionate, on-and-off romance provided the raw, unbridled emotional fuel for an album that explored themes of love, heartbreak, betrayal, even redemption, all with unprecedented, searing honesty.
This is laid bare.
Completely. When Blake temporarily left her to pursue an ex-girlfriend, Amy channeled her profound pain, her raw, unfiltered heartbreak, into this incredible creative outpouring, crafting songs that would become timeless classics. The sheer intensity of their relationship cannot be understated in understanding the album's immense emotional impact. Friends and collaborators described Amy during this period as completely consumed by her feelings for Blake, channeling both the ecstasy and the agony of their connection into her most powerful and vulnerable songwriting.
All-encompassing.
Yes. This emotional rawness became the album's defining characteristic and a key factor in its universal appeal because, let's face it, so many of us can deeply understand that feeling of consuming love and profound loss.
It's relatable on a gut level.
Exactly. And that emotional rawness, that confessional intimacy, was expertly married with a revolutionary sound. It perfectly balanced retro authenticity with cutting-edge contemporary production values, which naturally leads us to ask, how did she achieve that perfect sonic blend, creating something that felt both classic and utterly fresh, never just a mere pastiche?
Right. How do they nail that sound?
Working with visionary producers Mark Ronson and Salam Remy alongside the legendary Sharon Jones's backing band, the Dap Kings.
The Dap Kings. Incredible band.
Incredible. Amy meticulously crafted a sound that felt simultaneously classic and strikingly modern. The collaboration with Ronson proved particularly fruitful. His distinctive production aesthetic perfectly complemented Amy's vintage-inspired songwriting, whilst adding this modern polish that made the album accessible to mainstream audiences. Crucially, without ever sacrificing her authentic voice or jazz roots.
Finding that sweet spot.
They did. The production process involved extensive experimentation with vintage recording techniques and equipment, meticulously creating an authentic 1960s soul sound that, crucially, never felt like a mere imitation. This meticulous attention to sonic detail helped establish the album as both a commercial juggernaut and a critical masterpiece. It influenced countless producers and artists in the years that followed. This wasn't just about recreating a sound, it was about reimagining it, making it fresh and vibrantly relevant for a new generation. It essentially kick-started an entire musical movement and proved that classic sounds could find powerful new life in the modern era.
And from this incredible synergy of raw emotion and groundbreaking production came the song, the one that arguably changed everything, cementing her place in history and sparking a global conversation. Rehab.
Ah, yes, Rehab.
This wasn't just a hit single. It became Amy's signature song and a cultural phenomenon, almost instantly recognizable worldwide.
It really did take off.
The track's origins lay in a casual yet profound conversation with Mark Ronson while they were shopping in New York. Amy candidly recounted her refusal to enter rehabilitation despite significant pressure from her management and her father.
Just a conversation.
Just a conversation. Ronson later recalled how the song practically wrote itself during their walk back. It's a testament to Amy's immediate lyrical genius and her ability to turn lived experience into art right there on the spot.
Incredible.
The song's success powerfully demonstrated Amy's unique ability to address serious subjects like addiction, with both profound gravity and undeniable accessibility. Rehab became more than just a hit single. It quickly evolved into a cultural touchstone. It sparked widespread conversations about addiction, mental health, personal autonomy, all whilst maintaining its appeal as an irresistibly catchy pop song.
It's a tricky balance she managed perfectly.
It really is. It's a powerful example of how art can transcend deeply personal experience to become a universal anthem of defiance, prompting important societal discussions without ever feeling preachy. What truly stands out to you about its enduring impact? For us here at the Urban Herald, it's how she transformed something so deeply personal into something so universally relatable and incredibly memorable.
I think you've hit it. The triumph was undeniable, and its reach extended far beyond mere sales figures. Back to Black established Amy as a bona fide cultural force. Her influence extended far beyond music, permeating into fashion, lifestyle, even social commentary. She solidified her status as a true icon of her time.
A proper icon.
Absolutely. The album's commercial success frankly exceeded all expectations. It rocketed to #1 in the UK and reached an impressive #2 on the US Billboard 200. This was a massive, undeniable crossover success that proved her global appeal. Songs like You Know I'm No Good, the haunting title track Back to Black, and Love is a Losing Game. They powerfully showcased her ability to transform profound personal pain into artistic gold, creating music that resonated deeply with millions whilst maintaining absolute, unvarnished authenticity.
That authenticity again.
Always. Back to Black became a defining album of the 2000s, influencing the very direction of popular music and firmly establishing Amy as the leading figure in what would quickly become known as the British Soul Revival. The album's colossal success opened significant doors for numerous UK artists and powerfully demonstrated that authentic, emotionally honest music could achieve massive commercial success without ever compromising artistic integrity. It truly redefined the landscape for British musicians, proving they could take American musical traditions, imbue them with their own unique spirit, and make them distinctly their own.
Which brings us back to that relationship, the fuel for so much of it. This particularly poignant and complex part of her story. The intense, often destructive relationship with Blake Fielder-Civil that so profoundly fueled Back to Black. Let's unpack this connection, which became one of modern music's most documented and ultimately tragic love stories.
It's impossible to discuss the album without discussing him, really.
Their initial meeting at Camden's Good Mixer pub in 2005 sparked this immediate, almost fated connection. Blake, then working in video production for artists like Lily Allen and Kasabian, was initially skeptical Amy's claims to be a musician.
Apparently.
He didn't believe her.
Not at first. But he was quickly and completely won over by her impromptu, soulful performance of Round Midnight right there at the pub. Just blew him away.
Okay. That makes sense. This moment marked the passionate beginning of their intense and ultimately tragic relationship. Their connection was immediate and all-consuming, with both parties later describing it as unlike anything they had ever experienced before. Blake became not just Amy's lover, but also her muse, providing the emotional intensity that fueled her most powerful songwriting.
The muse, yes.
Friends described Amy during this period as happier and more creatively focused than they had ever seen her, truly in the throes of first love and artistic inspiration. It vividly highlights how profound and inspiring their connection initially was before it veered into darker territory.
But it did veer. What's truly disheartening is how quickly that potent creative inspiration turned into a devastating destructive spiral. This raises a critical question. How did such a powerful, initially positive connection become so toxic? How did it lead to such profoundly devastating consequences for both individuals?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Their relationship quickly intensified, marked by this relentless cycle of infidelity, painful separations, fervent reconciliations, all providing the raw emotional foundation for Back to Black. Amy herself later acknowledged that all the songs are about the state of my relationship at the time with Blake, describing feelings she'd never felt about anyone in my life. The intensity was palpable.
You can hear it in every line.
You can. Their spontaneous Miami wedding in May 2007, it seemed to promise stability, a hopeful new beginning, but instead it tragically marked the definitive beginning of their most destructive period. Blake's introduction of heroin into their relationship proved catastrophic. Both partners later acknowledged his pivotal role in Amy's drug initiation.
He admitted it.
Yes, Blake later admitted to using heroin 3 or 4 times before Amy asked to try it, describing his resistance as weak. Amy herself provided a bleaker, more honest assessment, telling the News of the World in 2009 that our whole marriage was based on doing drugs.
Wow, that's
It is. The sheer intensity of their shared addiction created this toxic dynamic where each partner's drug use enabled and encouraged the other's destructive behavior, creating an inescapable cycle. This tragic intertwining of love, addiction, and artistic genius is a recurring motif in her story, profoundly impacting her life and her work. It's a stark and painful reminder of how addiction can ruthlessly co-opt even the most profound human connections, turning inspiration into profound destruction.
And the public scrutiny, of course, only added layers of immense pressure, didn't it? Legal troubles and relentless media attention became an undeniable, invasive part of their daily lives, further fueling that destructive cycle. It was a constant, unforgiving spotlight on their darkest, most vulnerable moments. It must have been unbearable.
Unbearable. The relationship's increasingly toxic nature became tragically public as both partners faced escalating legal troubles. Blake's arrest in connection with a 2006 bar fight eventually led to a 27-month prison sentence for assault and obstructing justice. During this incredibly difficult time, Amy publicly supported him with unwavering loyalty, famously dedicating her Grammy Record of the Year award to My Blake, Incarcerated.
That Grammy dedication.
Yeah.
Quite a moment.
A huge moment. This dedication powerfully demonstrated the complex, almost tragic loyalty that characterized their relationship, even as it systematically destroyed them both. The constant media attention surrounding their relationship, with paparazzi following their every move, relentlessly documented their struggles with addiction and created this public narrative that, regrettably, often overshadowed Amy's immense musical achievements.
The music got lost sometimes.
It did. It truly makes you reflect on how much the relentless public gaze contributed to their downfall, creating immense, suffocating pressure in an already volatile situation, making any attempt at recovery even more impossibly difficult.
Yeah, the media's role is a whole other dimension to this.
Definitely. And taking a broader view, the official end of their marriage didn't necessarily mean the end of their deeply intertwined influence or, indeed, of Amy's ongoing struggles. The emotional ties, for better or worse, remained profoundly strong, a testament to the depth of their initial connection. They couldn't quite let go.
It seems that way.
The marriage officially ended in July 2009 when the High Court granted their divorce, with Amy admitting to an affair that Blake found intolerable. However, their connection persisted in this complex, almost magnetic way. There were reports of rekindled romance in 2010, even discussions of remarriage before Blake's final imprisonment for burglary in June 2011.
Really, remarriage?
Discussions, apparently. His incarceration tragically meant he could only attend a small prison chapel ceremony following Amy's death the very next month. It highlights the cruel timing and their continued, deeply complicated bond, even in her final moments.
Just tragic timing.
The Blake-Fielder civil relationship remains one of the most intensely discussed and debated aspects of Amy's life. It unequivocally represents both the source of her greatest creative inspiration and, simultaneously, a significant catalyst for her ultimate destruction. Their turbulent love story continues to fascinate fans and music historians as a powerful, often painful example of how artistic genius and profound personal tragedy can become inextricably linked, a powerful, almost fated intertwining.
Okay, let's pivot now to a moment of, well, unparalleled triumph. A shining peak in her career. The 50th Grammy Award ceremony on February 10, 2008. This represented the absolute pinnacle of Amy Winehouse's career and a truly historic moment in British music history. a global recognition of her immense, undeniable talent that reverberated worldwide.
That night was huge.
She achieved an unprecedented sweep of 5 awards in a single evening: Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Best New Artist, Best Pop Vocal Album, and Best Female Pop Vocal Performance. This tied her with 5 other artists as the second most awarded female performer in Grammy history in a single night. It was a stunning achievement that firmly cemented her position on the global stage, an undeniable force of nature.
Just incredible stats.
Yet, as we know, it wasn't a straightforward victory, was it? The ceremony itself was fraught with drama, casting this bittersweet, almost heartbreaking shadow over the triumph.
Indeed, this triumph, while monumental, prompts an important question about the true cost of such global success. The drama surrounding her very attendance became almost as memorable as the awards themselves, creating a poignant, almost tragic contrast between a professional peak and profound personal struggle.
The visa situation.
Exactly. Amy's visa application had initially been denied due to her widely publicized substance abuse issues, a very public barrier to her presence at music's biggest night. When approval finally came, miraculously just 2 days before the event, it was too late for her to travel to Los Angeles.
That's too late. Heartbreaking.
So instead, she performed live via satellite from a London studio, a moment that instantly became one of the most iconic and memorable in Grammy history. Her powerful, incredibly moving performance profoundly demonstrated her extraordinary vocal abilities while simultaneously highlighting the deeply personal struggles that prevented her from physically attending in person. The stark juxtaposition of her artistic triumph with her profound personal difficulties created this deeply poignant moment that perfectly encapsulated the tragedy of her situation. It left an indelible impression on everyone who watched a mix of awe and heartbreak.
I remember watching it. It was powerful. So considering all of this, what was Amy's personal experience of this immense moment? Her acceptance speeches, delivered remotely, revealed both genuine gratitude and this raw, almost shocking vulnerability that was deeply affecting.
Yeah, you could feel it. She graciously thanked her parents and, in a moment that underscored her unwavering loyalty amidst private pain, dedicated her Record of the Year award to My Blake Incarcerated.
So it is again.
Right. However, behind the scenes, the triumph felt profoundly hollow. A friend later recounted Amy's devastating and incredibly candid admission backstage. "This is so boring without drugs."
Oh, wow. That says so much.
It really does. This single statement encapsulated the profound tragedy of her success, achieving everything she had ever dreamed of whilst feeling too numbed by addiction to fully experience the joy. The Grammy success transformed Amy from a British sensation into an undisputed global superstar, but it also, perhaps inevitably, intensified the already overwhelming pressures she was facing.
Lower pressure, more scrutiny.
Exactly. The international media attention, combined with her accelerating personal struggles, created a perfect storm that would ultimately contribute to her downfall. Nevertheless, this undeniable recognition powerfully validated her artistic vision and firmly established her as one of the most significant musical voices of her generation. But it's a stark reminder, isn't it, that external success doesn't always equate to internal happiness, especially when battling the insidious grip of addiction. Even the greatest triumphs can feel empty without true internal peace.
A very sobering thought. Let's shift gears slightly, though still connected. Beyond her music, Amy Winehouse carved out this truly unique and indelible space as a fashion icon.
Oh yes, the look.
Her distinctive style became as iconic and instantly recognizable as her voice, influencing trends worldwide in a way few artists manage. This leads us to an important question. How did her personal style, which seemed so effortless and authentic, become such a global phenomenon, so widely recognized, copied, and adored?
It really was unique. Her signature Beehive hairstyle, famously created by her hairdresser Alex Foden, apparently began somewhat playfully when he just backcombed her hair massively and put an extra packet of hair in.
Just like that.
Seems so. The dramatic, towering look, often achieved using synthetic hair extensions and hair nets meticulously sewn together into what they playfully called fur balls, quickly became her instantly recognizable trademark. The Beehive wasn't just a spontaneous fashion choice. It was a carefully constructed artistic statement that deeply reflected Amy's personality and her profound musical influences.
It meant something.
It did. This distinctive look often required extensive preparation and meticulous maintenance, frequently taking hours. It powerfully demonstrated Amy's unwavering commitment to her visual presentation as an integral part of her artistic identity. Her retro-inspired aesthetic drew heavily from 1950s and 1960s pinup culture, boldly combining vintage silhouettes with a distinctly contemporary edge.
The eyeliner, too.
Absolutely. The Beehive was typically adorned with colorful scarves and fresh flowers, whilst her makeup featured that dramatic winged eyeliner that became so widely copied and emulated. This wasn't simply nostalgic pastiche, but a sophisticated reinterpretation of classic styles that felt vibrantly fresh and utterly contemporary, inspiring countless fashion enthusiasts to emulate her bold, unapologetic individuality.
And what's truly fascinating here is the remarkable journey of her street style, translating directly into haute couture. Even though she famously claimed to be clueless about fashion, her profound impact on the industry was undeniable. It reached the very highest echelons of global design.
Yeah, the designers loved her. Major fashion houses quickly took notice of Amy's distinctive style. Jean-Paul Gaultier, a visionary in his own right, dedicated his entire spring 2012 collection to her memory, featuring models with towering beehive hairstyles and 1950s-inspired silhouettes that directly referenced her look.
Gaultier, wow.
And her influence permeated the highest levels of fashion, with none other than Karl Lagerfeld styling Chanel models with Amy's signature thick eyeliner and distinctive beehive hairstyles.
Chanel, too.
Even her beloved Fred Perry polo shirts, cardigans, and jumpers, her everyday staples, inspired a collaborative collection between the iconic brand and the Amy Winehouse Foundation, featuring designs by her tattoo artist, Henry Haight.
That Fred Perry connection felt very authentic.
It did. Amy's style represented this refreshing burst of authenticity in an era of often manufactured pop stars. Her high-low approach, effortlessly pairing expensive designer pieces with humble 20-pound ballet slippers from Freed London, powerfully demonstrated that true style transcends mere price points. And her numerous tattoos, each carrying deeply personal significance, further added to her edgy, rebellious persona and courageously challenged conventional beauty standards.
Yeah, the tattoos were a big part of it.
This authentic, unvarnished approach to self-expression profoundly inspired a generation of artists and fans to embrace individuality over conformity. The enduring appeal of Amy's style lies in its genuine, organic nature, evolving directly from her personality. It made her fashion choices far more influential and longer-lasting than many calculated celebrity trends we see today.
Authenticity again. It keeps coming back.
It's the thread through everything, isn't it? And the profound impact of Amy Winehouse on British popular music simply cannot be overstated. Her groundbreaking success paved the way for a remarkable renaissance in UK soul and R&B that continues to influence contemporary artists and shape the musical landscape even into 2025. This naturally prompts the important question: how did she, seemingly single-handedly, ignite an entire musical movement? How did she become such a foundational figure for an entire genre and generation of artists?
Yeah, how did one person have that much impact?
Well, the current thriving UK soul revival, featuring acclaimed artists like Celeste, Joy Crooks, and Mahalia, you can directly trace it to the doors Amy so boldly opened with her groundbreaking success. She demonstrated that British artists could not only embrace American soul traditions, but also powerfully redefine and make them distinctly their own, infusing them with a unique cultural identity.
She showed it was possible.
Exactly. And many of the most successful artists today openly acknowledge her pioneering role, demonstrating a clear and powerful artistic lineage that continues to inspire.
Okay, let's unpack this direct artistic influence a bit further. Adele, arguably one of the most successful recording artists of the 21st century, repeatedly acknowledges Amy's profound impact. That's a huge testament to her legacy.
It really is. Adele famously stated, "Because of her, I picked up a guitar, and because of her, I write my own songs."
Wow, direct quote.
Direct quote. This direct lineage, this powerful chain of inspiration from Amy to Adele, vividly demonstrates the tangible impact of her artistic approach on the next generation of British singers. Her seamless fusion of jazz, soul, R&B, and contemporary production created this powerful, compelling template that numerous British artists have since followed.
It gave them a blueprint.
In a way, yes. Figures like Sam Smith, Jessie J, Florence Welch from Florence, plus The Machine, they all significantly benefited from what quickly became known as the Winehouse effect. Record labels started actively signing British performers with big, bold, authentic voices, particularly female artists.
Ah, the Winehouse effect.
Exactly. Her work proved unequivocally that British artists could successfully reinterpret American musical traditions whilst fiercely maintaining their own unique cultural identity. It inspired a whole new sound that was both globally appealing and distinctly British in its essence.
And this legacy continues to thrive today in what we call the contemporary UK soul revival, showing her enduring and ever-growing influence.
Indeed, the contemporary UK soul revival owes an immeasurable debt to Amy's pioneering work. Looking at the broader picture, her influence extends far beyond mere vocal style. It reaches deep into the very heart of songwriting itself and defines the core ethos of musical authenticity for a generation.
So it's deeper than just the sound.
Much deeper. Today's thriving UK soul scene owes so much to Amy's pioneering work in proving that British artists could successfully reinterpret American musical traditions whilst meticulously maintaining their own distinct cultural identity. Artists like Georgia Smith, LMI, and AO, they continue to build upon the formidable foundation Amy established, combining classic soul influences with contemporary production and distinctly British perspectives. The current 2025 music landscape powerfully shows Amy's continued influence in the growing popularity of authentic, emotionally honest songwriting amongst British artists.
That honesty keeps resonating.
It does. Lady Gaga, another global icon, perfectly captured Amy's transformative impact. She stated, "Amy changed pop music forever. I remember knowing there was hope and feeling not alone because of her. She lived jazz, she lived the blues."
Powerful words from Gaga.
Very. This profound sentiment perfectly reflects how Amy's authentic, unvarnished approach to music making inspired artists to prioritize emotional honesty over commercial calculation. The confessional nature of her lyrics, combined with her incredible ability to transform profound personal pain into universal themes, established a new, higher standard for authenticity in popular music. Contemporary artists from Lana Del Rey to Billie Eilish show clear traces of Amy's influence in their courageous willingness to address mental health, addiction, and complex relationship struggles with unflinching, raw honesty.
You can see that lineage.
Definitely. The British soul revival of the late 2000s and 2010s can be directly traced to Amy's success, proving that British artists could successfully reinterpret American musical traditions whilst maintaining their own cultural identity, inspiring an entire generation to find their authentic voices.
Now we have to dive into the tragic underside of her story. Amy's increasingly public battle with substance abuse. As her fame exploded, this intensely personal struggle painfully transformed into a distressing, often predatory, tabloid spectacle. It was hard to watch.
It really was. Her relationship with Blake Fielder-Civil marked a devastating turning point, as both partners descended into this spiral of drug dependency that tragically overshadowed her musical achievements and created a devastating cycle that proved almost impossible to break.
Heroin specifically.
Yes, the introduction of heroin into their relationship proved particularly devastating, with Blake himself acknowledging his role in Amy's initial experimentation. The progression from occasional drug use to full-blown addiction happened with alarming rapidity. Friends and family watched helplessly as Amy's health and career prospects visibly deteriorated.
Just watching her fade.
Yeah. The couple's shared addiction created this profoundly toxic dynamic where each partner's drug use enabled and encouraged the other's destructive behavior. This tragic intertwining was further complicated by Amy's struggles with bulimia, which began in her teens and were severely compounded by her drug use. It created this complex web of self-destructive behaviors that proved tragically resistant to treatment.
So many layers of struggle.
It paints a stark and heartbreaking picture of the destructive power of addiction, especially when intertwined with an already complex relationship and existing vulnerabilities. It made an already difficult situation almost insurmountable.
And the media's role in all this.
Yes. What's truly disheartening here is how society, and particularly the media, responded to her struggles. This raises a critical question. How did public mockery exacerbate her private pain and tragically hinder her recovery, instead of offering the compassion and understanding she so desperately needed?
It felt like open season on her.
It really did. The media's treatment of Amy's addiction reflected society's deeply complex and often insensitive relationship with celebrity mental health during the mid-2000s. Stand-up comedians, television presenters, they routinely mocked her bulimia and drug abuse, treating her suffering as entertainment rather than recognizing it as a serious medical condition demanding empathy and care.
Turning pain into punchlines. Awful.
Awful. This relentless public ridicule compounded her struggles, creating additional immense pressure that made recovery exponentially more difficult and tragically contributed to her increasing isolation. The constant, intrusive paparazzi attention created a vicious cycle where Amy's most vulnerable and private moments were captured and broadcast, broadcast globally. Images of her looking disheveled or confused became pervasive tabloid staples, generating significant revenue for photographers and publications, whilst further damaging her already fragile mental health and making recovery even more
It
challenging.
fed the beast, didn't it?
It did. It's a stark reminder of the ethical responsibilities of media and how public perception, especially public mockery and dehumanization, can severely harm vulnerable individuals. It tragically turned a desperate cry for help into a cruel punchline.
So what did this all mean for her career? Her performances during this period became increasingly erratic, a heartbreaking reflection of the progression of her addiction and its devastating impact on her professional capabilities. It was truly heartbreaking for anyone to witness the decline of such a powerful, singular talent.
Very difficult to watch. The disastrous Belgrade concert in June 2011, where she appeared profoundly confused and tragically unable to remember her own lyrics, that proved to be her final public appearance.
Belgrade. I remember the footage. Painful.
Painful, it was a distressing moment for both her and her devoted fans worldwide. Audiences and critics who had once celebrated her prodigious talent now, regrettably, booed her off stages globally. They seemed unable to separate the brilliant artist from the visible grip of her addiction.
The addiction became the story.
Sadly, yes. The professional consequences of her addiction created additional stress and immense financial pressure as canceled tours and recording delays severely threatened her career. The profound irony that her greatest artistic success had been inspired by the same destructive relationship that was now preventing her from performing, that was not lost on those close to her. It was a cruel, almost unbearable twist of fate.
A cruel irony indeed.
But amidst the public struggles, there were undeniable glimmers of hope. There were courageous attempts at recovery, which makes her ultimate fate even more profoundly heartbreaking. This raises an important question. What were the complexities of her journey toward sobriety, and what valuable lessons can we learn from the unpredictable and often cruel nature of addiction?
Were there moments she seemed to be getting better?
There were. Despite multiple attempts at rehabilitation, including the highly publicized stint that famously inspired rehab, Amy tragically struggled to maintain sobriety for extended periods. Her father, Mitch Winehouse, later revealed that she had, in fact, been sober for several weeks before her death.
Sober for weeks. Just before. Oh, that's devastating.
Devastating. This tragic irony, dying just as sobriety seemed tantalizingly within reach, adds another layer of heartbreak to her already poignant story and powerfully highlights the unpredictable, often merciless nature of addiction recovery. The relentless pressures of fame undoubtedly exacerbated her underlying mental health issues, creating this vicious cycle where monumental success paradoxically bred the very conditions that made it impossible to genuinely enjoy.
Success became a trap.
In some ways. Her candid admission that Grammy night was boring without drugs perfectly encapsulated how addiction had brutally robbed her of life's simple pleasures, leaving her tragically unable to experience joy even during her greatest, most globally recognized triumphs. It's a powerful and somber reminder of the insidious way addiction can steal even the most profound moments of happiness and achievement, leaving behind only a hollow victory.
Which leads us to the end. On July 23, 2011, Amy Winehouse was tragically found dead in her London home by her security guard. At the age of 27, she became the most high-profile and recent member of the infamous 27 Club, that list of brilliant musicians who, almost mythically, died at that specific age. Legends like Kurt Cobain, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison.
27 Club. Such a sad list to join.
The coroner's report revealed she had died of accidental alcohol poisoning. Her blood alcohol level was 0.416%, more than 5 times the UK legal driving limit. This devastating statistic highlighted the severity of her final relapse and the tragic, abrupt end to her protracted struggles with addiction. It was a stark, shocking, and ultimately final conclusion to a life lived so intensely, so passionately.
Should have gone too soon. What's truly fascinating here, though, are the nuances of her final days and how they eloquently challenge simplistic narratives of her decline. This raises an important question. What were the unexpected signs of hope just before her death? And what does the 27 Club truly signify in a broader, more scientific context? Is it real?
Right. Was there hope at the end?
Well, the circumstances leading to Amy's death painted this complex picture of someone fiercely struggling to maintain sobriety, while simultaneously grappling with the immense pressures of fame and profoundly complicated personal relationships. She had been relatively clean from drugs in her final weeks, visibly focusing on completing significant work with the legendary Tony Bennett and actively attempting to rebuild her career and personal life.
So she was trying.
She was trying. However, alcohol remained her persistent and ultimately fatal weakness, and a final tragic binge proved fatal. Her membership in the 27 Club alongside Cobain, Joplin, Morrison. It seemed for many to confirm the mythical dangers specifically associated with that particular age. However, scientific analysis suggests the 27 Club phenomenon is largely coincidental, a statistical anomaly. Fame itself, rather than the specific age, significantly increases mortality risk among musicians throughout their 20s and 30s.
So it's fame, not the number 27.
Likely more complex than just age. The pressures, the scrutiny, the easy accessibility to substances that often accompany superstardom, those are bigger factors.
So given these complexities, what does this all mean for her professional achievements in her final period? There was that poignant glimpse of what could have been, right? A powerful testament to her enduring, undiminished talent, even amidst her struggles.
Absolutely. She had completed a remarkable collaboration with the legendary Tony Bennett just months before her death, recording Body and Soul for his Duets, the second album, a profoundly moving performance that would posthumously earn her another Grammy Award.
Another Grammy, even after. Wow.
Bennett, reflecting on their time together, remembered her as an extraordinary musician with a rare intuition as a vocalist. That vividly reflects the deep respect and admiration she commanded among established jazz artists, even during her darkest personal period.
High praise from a legend.
Indeed. The Tony Bennett collaboration represented what many close to her and in the industry hoped would be a definitive turning point in Amy's career. It powerfully showed that she retained her extraordinary vocal abilities and could still produce work of the highest quality when focused and supported by experienced professionals. It was a poignant reminder of the sheer, undiminished talent that remained and the immense potential for a vibrant new chapter in her storied career. What might have been.
What might have been.
And taking a broader view, the aftermath of her death brought forth this deeply complex narrative of grief, blame, and a global outpouring of emotion that powerfully demonstrated her profound cultural impact. It left an undeniable void in the music world.
The reaction was huge.
Huge. Blake Fielder Civil's imprisonment tragically meant he could only attend a small, private ceremony in a prison chapel following her death. His absence during her final months, combined with intense public blame for her addiction, created this complex narrative of responsibility and guilt that continues to generate passionate discussion.
People still argue about his role.
They do. Many fans and family members held him partially responsible for her death, though the reality of addiction suggests such simple causation overlooks the disease's profound complexity and the myriad factors at play. It's rarely just one thing. The global outpouring of grief following her death was immense, unequivocally demonstrating her profound cultural impact. Tributes poured in from fellow musicians, politicians, millions of fans worldwide who recognized that the world had lost not just a talented artist, but a unique, irreplaceable voice.
Truly irreplaceable.
The sheer intensity of public mourning reflected how deeply her music had connected with people worldwide, a powerful testament to her universal appeal and heartfelt authenticity.
Following Amy's death, managing the preservation and presentation of her legacy became this delicate and often contentious balance between honoring her memory and fiercely avoiding exploitation. Let's unpack some of the controversial decisions made, and crucially, the lasting positive impact that emerged from her profound tragedy. There's always that tension, isn't there?
Always. Island Records boss David Joseph made the controversial decision to destroy most of her unreleased demos. He stated it was a moral thing to prevent others from finishing her incomplete work, a move aimed at protecting her artistic integrity.
Destroyed them? Wow, that's a bold move.
Bold, yes. Her father, Mitch Winehouse, however, strongly disagreed. He candidly called Joseph an idiot and passionately expressed his desire for fans to hear all of Amy's music.
So conflict there within the camp.
Definitely. This raises legitimate arguments on both sides. While fans understandably want to hear everything Amy recorded, the decision to protect incomplete work from commercial exploitation reflects a deep respect for artistic intention that Amy herself valued profoundly. Interestingly, the family has since discovered some corrupted recordings that technical experts believe might be salvageable, potentially forming an album tentatively titled The Progression of Amy, which could offer fascinating insights into her artistic development.
So maybe something will emerge eventually.
Perhaps. It's a truly fascinating insight into the profound challenges of managing an artist's legacy, especially when they leave behind unfinished work. You're constantly balancing public desire with fiercely guarded artistic integrity.
It's a tough balancing act.
But what's truly inspiring here is how her family channeled their immense grief into something profoundly positive and impactful: the Amy Winehouse Foundation. This raises an important question. How has her deeply personal tragedy been transformed into lasting social benefit, helping countless others navigate similar struggles with addiction and mental health?
The foundation, right. That's a huge part of her legacy now.
A massive part. The Amy Winehouse Foundation, courageously established by her parents in September 2011, represents arguably the most constructive and enduring aspect of her legacy. It powerfully demonstrates how personal tragedy can be transformed into widespread social benefit by focusing on helping young people struggling with substance abuse. The foundation notably opened Amy's Place, a recovery house for women in East London, offering crucial counseling, exercise courses, and vital relapse prevention groups.
Practical, direct help.
Exactly. This facility directly addresses the very issues that tragically claimed Amy's life, transforming personal grief into collective hope and actively helping others avoid similar fates by providing crucial support and a structured path to recovery. The Foundation's vital work extends beyond direct addiction support to include impactful prevention education programs for schools and community groups.
Education is key too.
Crucial. By bravely sharing Amy's story and the stark realities of addiction, the Foundation helps young people understand the inherent risks while strongly encouraging them to seek help early when problems arise. This educational approach wisely addresses addiction as a public health issue rather than a moral failing, reflecting a more enlightened and compassionate understanding of substance abuse disorders.
Changing the conversation.
Yes. Educational initiatives form another crucial component of her posthumous impact, funding projects like addiction education for children and diverse arts programs for disadvantaged youth. These initiatives ensure that Amy's struggles serve a profoundly constructive purpose, providing opportunities for creative expression that might help vulnerable young people find healthier, more positive outlets for their emotions. It's a powerful and enduring example of how a personal tragedy can be transformed into an incredible force for widespread positive change, providing tangible benefits and hope for future generations.
It's truly remarkable work. Amy's compelling story has also been powerfully brought to life for new generations through major film productions. Each offers a different lens on her life and legacy and significantly contributes to ongoing conversations about celebrity, addiction, and artistic legacy.
The films keep her story alive.
We're specifically talking about Asif Kapadia's critically acclaimed 2015 documentary, Amy and Sam Taylor Johnson's 2024 biopic, Back to Black. These films play a truly crucial role in shaping how future generations perceive and understand her extraordinary life and complex artistry. Let's first look at Kapadia's acclaimed documentary. It offered an intimate, often raw, and at times controversial portrait.
Right. Connecting this to the broader impact of her legacy, Kapadia's Amy was a critically acclaimed intimate portrait. It masterfully used archival footage and interviews to create a deeply immersive narrative, effectively allowing Amy to tell her own story in her own words.
Using your own voice, essentially.
Exactly. The film justly won the Academy Award for Best Documentary Feature and provided audiences with unprecedented access to Amy's private moments, profoundly revealing the vulnerable, often fragile person behind the public persona. Kapadia's approach of letting Amy tell her own story through her own words and images created a powerful and undeniably authentic narrative that resonated deeply with viewers worldwide.
But it wasn't without controversy.
No, it wasn't. The documentary's unflinching examination of media exploitation and industry pressure created significant controversy, particularly regarding the portrayal of Amy's father, Mitch Winehouse. Many viewers found the film's depiction of his role in her career and personal struggles to be overly critical, leading to ongoing disputes about the accuracy of its narrative. It highlights the inherent complexities involved in documenting the life of someone who died tragically young. Whose truth is it?
Difficult territory.
Very. The film's success powerfully demonstrated the continued public fascination with Amy's story and helped introduce her music to a new generation, further validating the importance of her artistic legacy and sparking vital conversations about celebrity, mental health, and media responsibility.
And then, more recently, the biopic. So, with all that in mind, what does this all mean for the narrative presented by the 2024 biopic Back to Black? It certainly took a different approach, didn't it? Aiming for a more balanced view of her life, focusing on joy and her incredible creativity.
It did shift the focus. Sam Taylor Johnson's 2024 biopic, starring the talented Marisa Abela, made a deliberate choice to focus on Amy's joy and her boundless creativity rather than dwelling solely on her struggles. The film, written by Matt Greenhoff, sought to vibrantly show the happiness Amy found in London's intimate music venues and her profound relationships with family and friends, presenting a more balanced view of her life that included her considerable achievements and moments of genuine pleasure and artistic inspiration.
Trying to show the highs as well as the lows.
Precisely. Jack O'Connell's portrayal of Blake Fielder Civil also attempted to present a more nuanced view of their tumultuous relationship, though many fans, understandably, remain skeptical of any overtly sympathetic treatment of his role in Amy's life, given the widely documented impact of his involvement.
Yeah, that's always going to be contentious.
Always. The film's release powerfully coincided with renewed interest in Amy's music and demonstrated the continued relevance of her story to contemporary audiences, prompting them to revisit her work. Both films, in their unique ways, have contributed to ongoing and vital conversations about celebrity, addiction, and media responsibility. They serve as essential cultural artifacts that help new generations understand Amy's profound impact while simultaneously raising important questions about how society treats vulnerable public figures and the ethical responsibilities of those who profit from documenting their struggles.
Important questions indeed.
So, in conclusion, Amy Winehouse's biography, as we at the Urban Herald have meticulously analyzed it, is far more than just the story of a talented musician who died too young. It's really a testament to the enduring, transformative power of authenticity in an often manufactured world.
Authenticity. There's that word again.
It's central. Her journey from a jazz-loving enthusiast in North London to a global superstar perfectly embodies the transformative power of authenticity in an industry often criticized for manufactured personas and purely commercial calculation. Through her unflinching honesty, her extraordinary vocal ability, and her distinctive artistic vision, she created music that continues to resonate profoundly with new audiences whilst powerfully inspiring contemporary artists to prioritize emotional truth over mere commercial appeal. Her undeniable influence on British music alone justifies her position among the UK's most significant cultural figures, paving the way for the British soul revival and inspiring a generation of artists from Adele to Sam Smith.
The lineage is clear.
Undeniable. Her unprecedented 5 Grammy Awards in a single evening remain a testament to her artistic excellence and international recognition, showcasing British musical talent on a global stage with undeniable flair. Beyond music, Amy's impact on fashion and popular culture firmly established her as a true icon, with her towering Beehive hairstyle and retro aesthetic continuing to inspire revered designers like Jean-Paul Gaultier and Chanel. Perhaps most importantly, Amy's story serves as a crucial catalyst for ongoing conversations about mental health, addiction, and the critical responsibilities of media and entertainment industries toward vulnerable performers.
Conversations we still need to have.
Absolutely. The Amy Winehouse Foundation's continued, invaluable work helps young people struggling with substance abuse, transforming her personal tragedy into a powerful force for widespread positive change and hope. Her music remains as powerful and relevant today as when it was first released, continuing to find new audiences through streaming platforms and countless cover versions. The fact that she maintains over 19 million monthly Spotify listeners more than a decade after her death unequivocally confirms that great art truly transcends the circumstances of its creation. It speaks to universal human experiences across time.
It endures.
It endures. The 2024 biographical film Back to Black and ongoing documentary projects demonstrate that public fascination with Amy's complex and compelling story continues to grow, ensuring her legacy endures.
Her story ultimately stands as both a powerful inspiration and, well, a poignant, urgent warning. It's a blueprint for how authentic creativity can genuinely change the world, but also a stark reminder of our collective responsibility to nurture, protect, and cherish genuine artistic expression. We, as a society, must ensure that the overwhelming pressures of fame never again claim such extraordinary, irreplaceable talent. In an era increasingly defined by carefully curated social media personas and meticulously crafted public images, Amy's raw, unvarnished honesty feels more valuable and essential than ever before. Her courageous willingness to transform profound personal pain into universal art provides a timeless template for authentic creative expression that remains as profoundly relevant today as it was during her lifetime. So here's something for you to think about. How do you think her unwavering authenticity might continue to inspire the next generation of artists and creators in our rapidly evolving cultural landscape? Thank you for joining us on this in-depth analysis of the remarkable and complex life of Amy Winehouse here with the Urban Herald team. We hope this exploration has given you a richer, more informed, and deeply reflective perspective on her incredible, enduring legacy. Until next time, stay curious and well-informed.